Hello FTM Transtastic, it is Saturday, and this week's topic is cultural backgrounds. And I think that I have a pretty important point to make during this video, but I will start with literally just talking about my cultural background. So my mom's side of the family is technically French, my dad's side of the family is technically Italian, but on both sides of my family, that ancestry is so far off that there is nobody living that I ever was able to meet in my family that holds any part of French or Italian culture, really, other than, like, eating spaghetti. So in short, my family is very Caucasian and very American. Another very significant part of my culture as a human being is that my dad's side of the family especially very well off. My household income is very high. For my geographic culture, other than just being American, I am from Maryland. Amazing. It's a pretty progressive area, but at the same time, there's a lot of conservative parts. The town I'm from is super safe. I'm pretty sure nobody in this neighborhood even locks their doors. Education-wise, I've always gone to really nice, good, clean schools. All of these things are very important parts of my background, my culture, my upbringing, and here I am talking about it. Another word some people might use for all of that is privilege. Another big part of my culture is that I'm a transgender person. Transgender, not often words you hear next to the word privilege. And as a person who has people watching my life on YouTube here right now to learn about trans people, that's a huge worry. Because I'm here talking about all these privileges I have. Woo, awesome life! When the trans community in general doesn't feel that same amount of privilege, not even close. Now, there is no such thing as a common trans experience, and when I come up here and talk about my stories and my life, it tends to be pretty positive, and that's a completely valid experience, but my mind and my body functions how society thinks it should. I've never really had much trouble finding a job. I've never even had much of an obligation to have a job. I've never lost someone close to me in my life for being trans. I've never had problems being accepted. I've never felt violence. I've never felt depression. I've never even had to save up money for any medical procedure relating to being trans. If I said the trans community was this big, this is how big my story is on that map. I am a huge minority when it comes to trans people. There is so much oppression in the face of trans people that if you don't have 1,000 layers of privilege, it makes it 1,000 times harder being a trans person. And don't get me wrong, I have had tons of trans-related struggles. There are plenty of things that I can identify with trans people across the board on. Body dysphoria is hell. I mean, I've had times that are hell for me because I'm trans. I've had other struggles outside of being trans. I've been sad, I've lost people close to me, I've had hardships, there's been hard things in my life, but let me just say that if my story is the only story you're getting, you are not even getting a tiny picture of what it's like to actually be a trans person in this society. And I love this YouTube channel, but if this is the only YouTube channel that you watch to learn about trans people, again, you are getting a very, very tiny picture of what it's like to be a trans person. We have a wide spectrum of different cultural backgrounds on this channel. However, there are huge parts that we're lacking. Clearly, this is a channel for trans men. Trans women have a widely different experience than us. There are plenty of different races that we are not representing on this channel, and they also have an incredibly different experience than the people that you're seeing. I mean, in order to understand the full trans experience, you need to go way beyond this channel, way beyond me, especially if I'm the only person that you're watching. I'm just worried that people are going to see these stories of really happy, successful trans people and then think, well, the world is good, no problems, trans people are totally at the same equal playing field as everyone else, and it's awesome, everything is rainbow shooting out of butts. That was, I mean, yes, anything is possible and everyone can achieve everything and everyone do everything you could ever dream of, YOLO. But it is not rainbow shooting out of butts for trans people. I mean, in a gay way maybe, but not in like an awesome way, but maybe both. Maybe gay is also awesome, but in like the super privileged you can achieve anything way, that's not where we're at as trans people, no. There's a lot of oppression for trans people of color, for trans women, for white, trans men, it doesn't matter. So the point of this video is, yes, my life is a version of the trans experience, and in a lot of cases, I think people who want to learn about trans people can learn a lot from me and other people with similar stories like me. By any means, it is not even close to the full story when it comes to what trans people face, and you really should be expanding your horizons. And really knowing what it's like to be a trans person, because this really isn't it a lot of the time. So, yep, and also, another point of the video is that now you know about my culture and background. Yeah, haha. Anyway, see you next Saturday.